Now, Lieutenant Baird, begin with the last time we saw each other.
Hello there, Seraphim17 once again. This is my Gears of War Judgment Insane Difficulty video walkthrough. This is going to cover all the declassified missions and get you every star. This is Section 6, Guest Bungalow, and this is the Bushka. So this is one of the new weapons which, when I saw it before I played with it, I thought it looked like a giant piece of shit. It looked like a Tobbello gun. It just looked silly. It looked like it fired a giant polo. But it turns out it's actually a really fun weapon. It's not quite as powerful as a boom shot, but it does have a few things in its favour. It gets a handful of shots, so it gets about 12 rounds, I think, in a full clip. It bounces off walls, and it explodes on direct impact. So you've got like a multi-purpose weapon. And I love it. It's really cool. The only problem with it is you don't get it enough. But that's just the nature of this game. I remember on the first Gears of War, you didn't get a torque bow until the end of Act 3, which was, 2/3 through the game. But there's an emergency hole. I'm going to try and use a torque bow to seal it. I did indeed. Sometimes you need to be quicker than I just was, but that seemed to be the limit of how long you can take before you shoot it. You can wait for your team to destroy the fortifications, but it takes them about 2 weeks, so just for the case of brevity, I go forward and get that shit done. You don't have to waste grenades, but I've got quite a lot at this moment, and I'm not attached to grenades in this game. Gears of War 1 to 3, I was so sparse with my grenades. I had to make every single one of them count. On this game, I've kind of fell out with them. They've made them, hip and cool and faster, and I just don't think it works. Oh, shit, grenade. Wow, that was dangerous. I don't know whose that was, but I don't want nothing to do with it. There's a couple of Bloodmounts. The cool thing about this section as well is if that house starts to get too rough, you can always run back into the garden and shoot them over the fence, like a real bad neighbour. But a couple more Bloodmounts. We've got a torque bow. I nearly killed myself with one just then. And there's an interesting thing that happens on this game, and I don't remember it on the old ones. When you get that full cog symbol, sometimes you'll continue to take damage, and you'll hear a noise, it's like a soft punch type noise. And I think it's you taking damage, but at that precise moment, you're invulnerable. It's weird. I don't know if it's intentionally there to tell you that, you've took so much damage you're about to die, or if it's the game can't process too much damage at that point. I don't really know what it is, but it's a really apparent noise, and it's always at the times where it looks like you're about to die. And I don't know, I just found it very strange, because to me it felt like at every point I felt I should have died, I didn't, because it made this noise. And I'm trying to think of what it reminded me of, because it did remind me of something. I think my entire team is dead. That is a Mortar guy, so I don't blame him. This is something I dislike as well. On Gears of War 3, they gave you the opportunity to take out the Mortar people before they started shelling you. On this game, every single one of them is dug in like an Alabama tick, and it gets on my tits. It really does. Because the one-shot guys show their face, but the Mortar dude you can see the top of his skull if you're on equal level to him, but if you're not, you can't see a thing. And it's interesting because they give you this Gnasher Sentinel, and I assume it's to kill the Bloodmounts, because the Gnashers destroy the Bloodmounts. But getting down there to past that turret, it takes longer than killing the Bloodmounts because they're so packed together. I don't know what I'm doing here. That was strange. I thought you could flank around, or I must have thought that at the time, which is wrong. But just be aware, when this guy's not firing mortars at you, there's people in this garden with torque bows, so if you're going to push through, you need to push all the way through to the underside of that spawn. Because right now is danger zone big time. That is a Theron with a torque bow. He's just fired it because he holds it too long like an idiot. This is a spawn point, but you're safe from the mortar, so use it to your advantage. A couple of grenades in here too, which is nice. There's a mission right near the end of the game called Overlook, and I found a spawn point where a cog tag was, and I reckon if you could get the turrets in that room, you could probably defend it, and it might make that level slightly easier, but if you don't, you just get Bloodmounts up the yazoo. It's just madness. But up here is going to be the dude, this guy, and I realised that I had a lot of precision weapons, which don't seem to fare you that well up close. But as soon as he's dead, I believe you get a checkpoint. I didn't see one. There's going to be a bunch of enemies spawning and a Reaver's going to turn up, and I don't use the Mortar launcher on the Reaver. I don't know why. I just decided to hit it with the torque bow instead. The Mortar would have killed it significantly quicker, but I'm so paranoid when... You know when he stands up for that brief second between shells? You know, that's enough time and enough exposure for that Reaver to kill you with its explosions, so I just didn't trust it at all. But this is a nice bit of revenge on these guys. You get to fire off some mortars. Once again, I think the range on the Mortar, when you use it's nerfed, doesn't seem to be quite nerfed for them, because there's a guy on the fortress level, he can hit you in the boat that you spawn. He's such a bastard. It's unbelievable the range he's got on the Mortar. Your Mortar does not go that far, his does. Here comes the Reaver. So I'm just going to keep hitting it with some torque bows. There goes its pilot. It's attacking someone on the ground, which is nice because it's distracted. But this is definitely a challenging enemy. Which is funny because, you know, in previous Gears of War 1, they weren't too bad because they couldn't land. But as soon as they started landing, they definitely started showing that they could do some damage. It's that cannon. That random cannon on its shoulder thing. But there's the tome, there's the 3 stars, there's the end of the level. So as always folks, I hope the guide is helping. If you're new and you've subscribed, thank you very much. Hopefully you'll find other content that you enjoy. Bioshock Infinite guide is coming. I have the disc sat next to me. I still haven't touched it. It's excruciating. I want to stop this commentary right now and start playing it. But unfortunately I can't do that, Hal. So thanks for watching, and you take care now.